To Live at 9, everyone. Again, still here in Dallas, Texas for SEC Media Days. And one of the cool parts of not only talking to the players and the coaches is talking to other media members, people that are experts of certain things. So David Edelstein met up with David Eckert, who's an expert for all things Ole Miss, and he was able to interview him about what he should expect from the Rebels.
Now I'm joined by the Clarion Ledger Ole Miss beat reporter David Eckert. You have a great name. Have to start off with that too, but the Davids unite here in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Number one, as we talk with head coach Lane Kiffin and the Rebels about this coming season, where the past few have been just increasingly better, as they've put it, and the record and the numbers show it. But this year they say there's some intangibles with some new players joining and some returning players, including quarterback Jackson Dart, to bring some of that stability to the team. What have you noticed from what you've talked with the Rebels about today, and just in your own observations of the team, about what the outlook for the 2024 season really can be?
Yeah, I think you touched on it there, right? I think my big question for this team is, can they get the locker room right? They've got all these new pieces. They've got all of these returners. Can they get the blend right in the locker room and win games, right? Because if you look at 2022, they've said it, hey, this was not a team that was together. We suffered from some locker room issues, they said. So they fixed them in 2023. We saw the product of it. And now, the rosters change over so much that you really don't know if they're going to be able to have the same thing in 2024. So that's the major question. They talked about it a lot.
Right. There's no question with the added team members and the returning ones that this team is full of talent. You don't need the EA Sports game to tell you what the overall rating is of these guys. We know it's there, and they've joked about that too. But as they individually look to improve, they say they look to improve as that team chemistry. And it comes down to Jackson Dart, is what I've heard them saying. What is it going to take for Jackson Dart and the Rebels to come together?
Kiffin said on stage today that if we're talking EA Sports, the new video game that everybody's excited about, if they gave leadership ratings, Jackson Dart would be a 99, which is the best. So that was funny. But yeah, I mean, look, Jackson Dart understands how important that is, which is really the first battle. And, he takes steps to make sure everybody's comfortable. So whether it's pickleball, whether it's playing video games, I mean, it's ridiculous the number of guys who they got out of the transfer portal that were like, yeah, Jackson Dart was playing video games with me and, pitching me on the Rebels. So, he's doing what he needs to do, and the Rebels have a real leader in Jackson Dart for sure.
Well, Jackson Dart said that he needs to change his EA Sports photo because he's not sure exactly what photograph they used to make him. And speaking of pickleball, Commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, said Lane Kiffin may be the only one he's ever seen pick up pickleball and not get injured. So all things going well for Hottie Toddy right now. With an expanded 12-team playoff this year, there's a legitimate shot that Ole Miss can make that push. What have the guys been talking about here in Dallas about what they're expecting come December?
Yeah, I think they expect to be there. It's not, hey, if X and Y break right, it can happen. I think that is the base expectation for this team.
Lane Kiffin mentioned right off the bat today about his father, passed away, Monte Kiffin, who was a defensive specialist for many of his teams, including Ole Miss, and legendary coach, and to him a legendary father. How did you feel like that emotion was for Lane Kiffin, acknowledging his father off the bat, even though he wanted to turn the page and just talk about his team the rest of the way?
Yeah, we don't see an emotional Lane Kiffin very often, those of us who are here every day, so it was different. You could tell it was tough for him to be up there talking about it, but he handled it well. He told a couple of stories. You could tell that he wanted to get to football. I'm sure it was a hard day for Lane, but I think he handled it well.
Of course, very meaningful, like you said. All right, David, what would David Eckert look like on the field in EA Sports? What rating are you getting, and what team are you on?
0.
I'll give you an 100 for that. Your reporting today worked really well. Hey, thanks so much for joining us, as always, on Sports Zone.
Oh, come on. I'm giving you guys both 99s if you guys are in the EA Sports game. But thank you to both Davids for doing that. We really appreciate it. And I know it's been a lot of Ole Miss, but today is the day that we're doing Mississippi State. So if you can watch a little bit later on 4, 5, and 6. And then, of course, we have a Sports Zone special at 6:30 tonight, Wednesday night, to recap this whole week, as well as SWAC Media Day. Camden Morris was able to go to that, and she did a wonderful job out there. But the question of the day, what social media would I give away? I think it would have to be TikTok. because I just don't use it. So when people send me TikToks, I just click on the Safari version of it, and sometimes it doesn't even play. And if it doesn't play, I just move on. But again, you can go vote on that poll, WJTV.com/connect. And again, TikTok is my answer. We'll be right back.